Now let's discuss about the definition of property, plant and equipment under IAS 16. So I jot down this definition of property, plant and equipment from IAS 16, and I have highlighted few of the areas like assets, ordinary course of business, including rentals, and more than 1 year. I want you to understand there are few concepts that I want to discuss over these four items. So now let's move on and understand what's the definition of PP&E. So the term PPE refers to any asset. First of all, it has to be an asset that are held by the entity, okay, for the purpose of use in the ordinary course of business. We will understand for manufacturing of goods, rendering of services, or for administrative purposes, including rentals. This is important, including rentals, and which are kept for use for more than 1 year. So, there are 4 points that I want to discuss with you, which are relevant to understand the definition. Now, let's understand the first point, an asset. What do we mean by an asset? In order to qualify any resource to be called as property, plant, and equipment, first of all, it has to be an asset. So, if someone wants to look into the definition of the assets, they need to look into the conceptual framework. The conceptual framework for IFRS. From here, I have picked up the definition of asset. So asset is basically a resource which are controlled by the entity and from which the entity is going to get some economic benefit. So the first thing is any resource to qualify as a PP&E, it has to be an asset. It should meet the definition of asset. The second point is it should be used in the ordinary course of business. Now, why this is important? So whenever you have any asset, whenever you see any asset, you need to look into the intention. You need to look into the intention of the owner, or for example, the management. Management is not the owner, they are managing the property, but we need to understand from the perspective of the management and to see how they are going to utilize this asset. How they're going to utilize this asset. If they are going to utilize this asset in the ordinary course of business, which means if they are going to use in the production of goods, in the production of goods, or they're going to use that particular property, plant, and equipment in respect of a rendering of services, for example, providing accounting services, providing professional services, or providing hotels, for example, or for maintaining the administrative purposes. For example, you have a manufacturing factory and you have a payroll office. You have an accounting office. Those offices are deals with administrative purpose only to manage things. That's it. That's only deals with administration. Do we need to classify those assets that are there for administrative purposes? Yes. So any asset, first have to be an asset that are going to be used in the ordinary course of business, which means either we are going to use for the production of goods, rendering of services, or for the administrative purposes. All of these are or purposes, including rentals. In the next video, I will explain why it is included here in the definition, including rentals, and which are kept for use for more than 1 year. So these two concepts we will discuss in the next video and the subsequent videos.